Let's break something from the start. You've been taught to be accessible, to smile when you don't want to respond when you shouldn't, to justify yourself even when no one has asked. You've been conditioned to be reachable, moldable, predictable. And the worst part is that you accepted it as if it were normal. But tell me, what has that accessibility done for you? Has it given you peace? Has it given you power? No. It has turned you into an emotional puppet, reacting to every gesture, every word, every hint. People read you, and when they see that you jump with every push, they push you harder. Because, yes, the world is full of experts at pressing buttons, but they only work if those buttons are within reach. And this is where the concept that very few understand comes in, becoming unreachable. Not as a way of escaping, but as an act of dominance, of absolute self-control, of inner power. We are not talking about building walls to not feel. We are talking about learning not to react, because every time you react, you expose yourself. Every time you explode, justify yourself, or rush to explain why you did what you did, you're giving away your power. Silence is not coldness, it's strategy. And mystery is not indifference, it's magnetism. There are people who enter a room and, without saying a word, dominate the atmosphere. Not because they shout louder, but because they've learned not to be an open book. They don't give you access to their interior in exchange for crumbs of attention. They don't rush to explain, justify, or please because they understand something that the rest still don't. The less you give, the more they want to know. Humans are addicted to what they can't control. Key practice 1. Learning to let go. On here, we reach a crucial point. Learning to let go is not a loss, it's a liberation. Let go of that relationship that suffocates you, that job that drains you, that commitment that ties you without meaning. Let go of the need to understand everything, to be right, to be validated. Because the more you try to hold on, the more you depend. And dependence is the opposite of personal power. You can't be unreachable if you constantly need validation, approval, or applause. Stopping explaining is also a way of letting go. You don't have to justify your decisions. You don't have to give reasons to protect your peace. You don't have to convince anyone that you're a good person. Because the truth is this: those who judge you already have a story written about you. And they're not looking for data. They're looking for confirmation. Don't feed their narratives. Shut up and let time speak for you. Key practice 2. Setting silent boundaries. Letting go creates space. Space that you must now protect with the second. Foundational tool: silent boundaries. Boundaries that are not shouted, that are not negotiated, that are not published. Boundaries that are felt, that are lived, that are respected because you respect them first. And yes, you may lose a few people along the way when you live with clear boundaries, but they weren't losses. They were liberations. Learning to let go is also learning not to carry what is not yours. You can't rescue everyone. You can't be the emotional support of those who don't want to change. You can't be the eternal shoulder to cry on for those who use you as an emotional garbage. Cannot be brutally selective with your energy because it's not infinite. And every time you waste it on those who don't value you, you make yourself smaller, to fit in spaces where you shouldn't be. Asterisk, many confuse being unreachable with being cold. But it's not about coldness, it's about emotional maturity. The one who reacts to everything is ruled by their environment. The one who chooses when and how to respond rules their life, and that is not isolation. It is sovereignty. Self-control is not repression, it's choice. Choosing not to fall for provocations, choosing not to respond to messages that don't deserve your energy, choosing to withdraw in time before you become the villain in a story that was never yours, choosing silence when you know the explanation won't change anything. Because sometimes the greatest act of power is doing nothing. And this is where a new dimension comes in. Little explored, but absolutely transformative, active patience. Do you know what one of the most powerful qualities of those who seem unreachable is? That they don't rush to respond, to correct, to take revenge, to clarify, because they understand that time, when used intelligently, is an ally. Active patience is not passivity, it's calculation. It's knowing that you don't need to rush, because nothing that comes from impulse usually lasts over time. The impulsive person acts today and regrets tomorrow. The patient one observes today and acts just when necessary. That difference separates those who live reacting from those who live directing. And if we keep digging deeper, there's another idea that deserves its own space. The difference between presence and availability. Presence is knowing how to be. It's entering a conversation or a room and contributing without seeking attention. It's generating impact without effort. But availability, that's something else. It's always being there, always responding, always giving yourself. And when you confuse being present with being available, you end up emptying yourself. Because the one who's always available stops being valued, and the one who's present consciously is remembered. The interesting thing is that many people fear not being available because they're afraid of losing connections. But they don't realize that that fear turns them into emotional slaves to relationships they may no longer need. Here we enter another valuable territory: emotional dignity. Dignity is not pride, it's not coldness, it's not indifference. It's knowing what you deserve and not lowering yourself to anything less. It's not begging for explanations. It's not chasing answers from those who don't intend to give them to you. It's accepting that not everyone is going to understand you. And that's okay, because you're not here to convince anyone of your worth. You're here to live it. And living it means surrounding yourself with people who see it without you having to prove it, who respect your silence, who don't fill it with assumptions or demands, people who understand that when you choose silence, it's not punishment, it's a message. And those who don't know how to read that message shouldn't read the rest of you. Now, let's talk about something that hurts, but that frees. Conscious rejection. Learning to reject what doesn't fit with you, even if it comes disguised as an opportunity, even if it comes at the moment you want it most, because not everything that shines fits in your path. Sometimes, true self-control is saying no to something you want because you know you deserve something better. And this is where the concept of being recoupled takes on a new depth. It's not about others not being able to have you. It's about you choosing who you allow to get close, with a logic that prioritizes your emotional stability, your peace, and your process. Being unreachable is, at its core, being invulnerable to what used to hurt you. It's knowing that your value doesn't go up or down depending on who stays or who leaves. It's having made peace with losing what no longer adds to you. It's looking serenely at what once disturbed you. It's feeling calmly what once broke you. It's choosing yourself again and again, without drama, without noise, without spectacle, and when you get there, something changes. Not only in you, but in the environment too. You no longer attract those who seek weakness. You no longer seduce from lack. You no longer connect from the wound, because your energy has stopped begging. Now it is firm, it's stable, it's enough. And that transforms everything. And just when you think there are no more layers to uncover, the most subtle one appears, the most powerful. The one very few reach. The tranquility of not needing anyone to understand you to feel whole. That is the last frontier of self-control. Not only choosing what you say, but accepting that you don't have to be understood to have value. The world constantly seeks explanations, labels, definitions, but you're not here to be deciphered like a manual. You're here to live yourself, to be a well-managed mystery, to be a presence that doesn't need justifications. And listen to this carefully. It's not arrogance, it's depth. It's having dug so deep inside yourself that you can no longer settle for superficial relationships or empty value. You've been through too much to keep lowering yourself to fit in. You've felt too much to keep pretending lightness. That's why the end of this journey is not a destination. It's a new way of walking. A way in which you're no longer pushed because you decide your pace. A way in which you're no longer dragged because you choose your direction. A way in which you no longer run to be seen, because you know that those who truly matter will notice you even in silence. And if you still have doubts, if you feel that sometimes you falter, that you still react more than you wish, don't punish yourself. It's part of the process. Becoming unreachable is not a one-day goal. It's a daily practice. Now, before you leave, I want to propose something. Write this phrase in the comments. My silence is not absence, it's dominion. I want to read it. I want to know how many are willing to live from that place of power, from that calmness that's non-negotiable. And if this video stirred something inside you, if it made you think about that version of you that no longer wants to keep reacting to the world, then subscribe. Because here we talk about what's not said, what's felt deeply, about what they don't always explain to you, but which changes everything. And now I say goodbye, but not like everyone else does. Not with a see you soon. I say goodbye with a silence. One that weighs, one that leaves space for you to fill it. Because this is not the end of the video. It's the beginning of the you that no one will be able to reach. I disappear,